Retirement planning without accounting for longevity risk is like packing for a 3-day trip when you might be gone for 30 years. We are living in an era where the fastest growing demographic in America is people over 100, and most financial plans quietly ignore that terrifying fact. The catalyst here is simple but brutal. Actuarial tables have shifted dramatically, and the financial industry has been embarrassingly slow to catch up. When your grandparents retired, living past 80 was an exception. Now it is increasingly the expectation, and the math behind most retirement plans was never designed for a 40-year runway. Think of your retirement savings like a phone battery most people optimize to get through the day, not a weekend off the grid in the mountains. The macroeconomic reality is that low bond yields, sequence of returns risks, and rising healthcare inflation are conspiring to drain that battery faster than any projection your advisor printed in a nice folder. There was a moment, roughly a decade ago, when 4% withdrawal rates felt like gospel bulletproof, peer-reviewed, practically tattooed on every financial planner's forearm. Then, interest rates did what interest rates do. Inflation reminded everyone it was still alive, and suddenly, that 4% rule started looking more like a 4% prayer. The psychological weight of this is real. Watching your peers retire confidently while you obsess over spreadsheets at 2 in the morning is its own kind of suffering. But the experts who study this, people like Wade Fall and Michael Kitzes, have been screaming into the void for years that longevity risk is the most underpriced risk in personal finance. History gives us some humbling context here. The 2008 crash devastated people who retired in 2007 not because markets fell, but because they were forced to sell assets at the worst possible moment, that is, sequence of returns risk wearing longevity risk's coat. Every generation thinks their version of uncertainty is uniquely terrifying, and every generation is partially right, which is what makes this conversation so endlessly frustrating and necessary. Longevity risk sits inside a completely predictable but systematically ignored cycle, where humans consistently underestimate their own lifespans because optimism bias makes us terrible actuaries. Your neighbor who retired at 62 and plans to travel almost certainly has not modeled what happens if he needs memory care at 87 for 6 years straight. The biggest misconception is that Social Security and Medicare will absorb the overflow. They will not. And banking on that assumption is the financial equivalent of assuming the airbags will handle the driving. Longevity risk is not about fear. It is about the rational acknowledgement that more time alive means more time for things to go wrong, get expensive, or simply run out. So what do you actually do with this information? Historically, the tools that have worked are annuitization of a portion of assets, delaying Social Security as long as physically and financially possible, and building in explicit healthcare cost buffers that most plans treat as an afterthought. The actionable lesson from every retiree who navigated a long life well is not that they predicted markets, it is that they managed their withdrawal rate with boring, almost robotic discipline. Position sizing in retirement is everything. It is not about having the conviction to hold through volatility. It is about having so little in any single risky position that volatility becomes irrelevant to your survival. Process beats prediction every single time. And the process here is not glamorous. It is adjusting spending dynamically, revisiting your plan annually, and resisting the urge to chase returns when your real enemy is time. Patience in this context is not passive. It is the active daily choice to not blow up a 40-year plan because 1 year felt scary. Here is the quietly absurd irony in all of this. The people most likely to experience longevity risk are the ones least likely to plan for it, because planning for a long life requires confronting your own mortality in a way most people find deeply uncomfortable. We will spend 3 weekends researching a television purchase and approximately 0 weekends stress testing whether our money outlasts us. At its core, discipline in retirement planning is not a personality trait, it is a system. And systems do not require motivation, they just require consistency. Sizing your withdrawals correctly, diversifying your income sources, and reviewing your plan with the same frequency you check your phone is the unglamorous truth behind every retirement that actually works. Whatever the market does, whatever policy changes come, Whatever your health trajectory looks like, the prepared mind is a comfortable mind. And comfort in this context is not complacency, it is the earned confidence of someone who has done the boring, important work. You can be genuinely okay with uncertainty when your plan has already accounted for the worst reasonable version of it. Whether you are thinking about building wealth through real estate, navigating a home renovation to increase your property's long-term value, or finding the right lender to fund your next move, check out the links in the description below and let us help you get started.